What's good, everybody? Man, I'm the G with a PhD, and you're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel, the place where black men can express themselves freely. Straight up, no chasers. What's good with y'all out there in YouTube land? I'm chilling, man. It's a Friday, man, and I ain't gonna be too long tonight. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I gotta put my work in, but after I put my work in, I'm about to slip and slide on out this joint. But before I do anything, you know I got to give some love to all of my members. That's right. I got to give a shout out to all of my members. Randall, Universal 178, Blacksword 404, Rashid Barnes, Aaron Smith, The Walt Diddy Show, DH, C Truth, The Revelator, Gold Professor, The Nameless Protagonist, Black Pill Ned Stark, I, 528 Hertz Shade, Odd Collard, Roderick Jackson, Dr. Tiasan Johnson, Damon Harris, Brian Williams, Camp Lowe, Nicholas Lobin, Issa Abdul Sahir, Kalan Jakala, Leroy Honeycutt, Sherrod Martin, Ricky Dawson, Brother Love, Black Dog, NEU, Cedric Bowman, True 7360, BK Born Shahid, James Washington, Hostile Adept, Seven Coast Dojo, Ronan Martin, Shop Talk Live, W Pierre 1, Rogish the Billmonger, I Care, Force Windu, Lady Miss Thing Green, BGS Ibmore, and Marvin Battle Jr. Thank you so much for being members of the Green Gorilla channel. Thank you all. Thank you for being members of the Green Gorilla channel. I really appreciate all of the support that you show and all of the help that you give. And for those who are not members of the Green Gorilla channel, who are looking to find out how they can become members, here's how. What's good, everybody? I'm the G with a PhD, and you're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel, the place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chaser. Today, I want to introduce you to my new membership program that consists of 5 levels where you can invest in the Green Gorilla channel on a monthly basis and receive level-specific perks. Memberships are special because they improve the quality of the content of the channel and will help me to be able to keep the channel going. Now, to participate in the Green Gorilla channel membership program, all you have to do is hit the join button, which is located right next to the subscribe button on my channel page. Now, for all of my subscribers who decide not to participate in my membership program, nothing will change. The content will keep coming the way it always has. Thanks for watching, and be careful out here, people. Bless. So, again, I'm the G with a PhD, and you're tuned into the Green Gorilla channel, the place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chasers. And you know what that means. It means that you may hear some things that may shock you, that may seem to be different than some of the things that you've heard before. Here, we say what we feel like we want to say. There's no holds barred. There's no area of inquiry that we feel is taboo. We say whatever it is we want to say here at the Green Gorilla channel. And if you have any objection to hearing material that may be offensive to you, I suggest that you leave now. That's my trigger warning, and I always give it such that those who may be skittish and those who are timid have the opportunity to free themselves from what they may consider to be morally objectionable. But before I move on, I want to give a shout out to my brother Joe, the Average Brother. My brother Joe, the Average Brother, for his beautiful contribution. Thank you so much. And also, I got to give a shout out to my brother Universal 178, who just recently became a member. Much love, brother, he says. And thank you so much for that generous contribution. We got to give him some fanfare for that one and some applause. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That applause is for you, my friend. Thank you, sir. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Now, I want to give a shout out to everybody. I see you out there, Walt Diddy. I see you, Sand Dog, all the way out there across on the other side of the world. And BK Born Shaheed says, I need the cash out. Well, you know what, brother? BK Born Shaheed, let me tell you something, my brother. You need look no further than the screen itself. And you see the $ G with a PhD. That just so happens to be my Cash App sign. So if you want to make a donation, that is how you do it via Cash App. And BK Born Shaheed, I want to give you a shout out. Thank you for inquiring. And that's the way you can, donate or allocate some funds to the Cash App for all those wondering. So, and also I want to give a shout out to Vernon King. Thank you so much, Vernon King, for the donation. I'm trying to get the show started, but my brothers are helping me out here, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your help. I want to give a shout out to Malika Bambain out there. I know that I saw Sam I Am out here, the boss man. And I know the Crimson Cure is in the house. How you doing, Kendra? What's good now? Commander Gore, extended clips, right? I want to just give a shout out to people. Damon Harris, I see you over there in Facebook land, right? Drone Ninja, Julius Ferguson. I want to give a shout out to y'all, man. It's a Friday night. I swear, I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't evolve into a 2 hour rant. Because you know I can go off all damn night. Man, I can say some shit all day, you know. But I'm gonna try to keep this close to an hour range if I can. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that because you know I get a little bit long winded, but I'm gonna try to keep it there. Now, of course, you saw what I put on the thumbnail for the show. I put the thumbnail for the show a quote from Animal Farm. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. And instead of putting animals there, I substituted animals with genders. All genders are equal, but some genders are more equal than others. Of course, you know what I'm alluding to here, but I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet. So I don't know if you've seen the, or let me rephrase it. I don't know if you've read Animal Farm before. I've read it as a child and as an adult. So I would like to get a poll. I would like to, gain some intel. How many of you have actually read The Animal Farm? If you have read it, put a 1. If you haven't read it, put a 2 in the comment section. And that way I can get some gauge of how far I got to go into the description of what the Animal Farm actually is. Because otherwise, I don't know. So I see some people putting 1s up. I see a few 1s. I see a 2. I see 1, 2. But I see mostly 1s. I see some 2s. Okay, so there's some people who know what the storyline is about, and there's some people. Now, how you gonna put a 3, man? Like that's not an option here, bro. But anyway, so some people have read it, some people haven't read it. So I feel like it's necessary for me to, because of the fact that some people haven't read it, I'll just try to give a brief synopsis of what the story is about. So, and I want to give a shout out to Alan Franklin for the Cash App donation. I appreciate that. I just want to make sure that I cover that before I get started. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. So Alan Franklin has just provided a donation, and I appreciate that donation. Okay? So, anyway, man, of course, the Animal Farm story takes place in the setting of a farm. And it's a farm owned by a man named Mr. Jones. Okay? So that's how the story starts. I mean, this is just how it goes, right? So, one night, all the animals at Mr. Jones's Manor Farm, which is the name of the farm, it's called Manor Farm. They assemble in a barn, all these animals do, to hear a pig by the name of Old Major describe a dream. So just consider Old Major to be the Martin Luther King Jr. of all the pigs and the animals themselves. Okay? So anyway, he describes a dream about a world where all the animals on the farm, Manor Farm, Mr. Jones's farm, live free from the tyranny of their human masters. Now, not shortly after this meeting where Old Major shares his dream with the animals of Manor Farm, he dies. But the animals are inspired by his dream. and his philosophy, which is called animalism. And using animalism as inspiration, they plot a rebellion against Mr. Jones. So there are two pigs, one named Snowball and another named Napoleon. And for the most part, these pigs prove themselves important planners of this so-called rebellion. And one day, when Mr. Jones forgets to feed the animals, they start a revolution. And ultimately, Jones and all of the people who work the farm with him, all the human beings, are chased off of the farm. And Manor Farm is basically renamed Animal Farm. And they develop the 7 commandments of animalism. And they paint them on the barn wall. And the 7 commandments of animalism are as follows. Whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. Whatever goes upon 4 legs or wings is a friend. No animal shall wear clothes. No animals shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. No animal shall kill any other animal. All animals are equal. So those are the 7 commandments, right, that they set out and established. The 7 commandments of animalism. Now, initially, this rebellion is a success. The animals work together on this farm and they complete a harvest, and they meet every Sunday to debate farm policy. But the pigs, because of their intelligence, become the supervisors of the farm. Napoleon, another of the pigs, right? He proves to be eventually a power-hungry leader who steals the cows' milk and a number of apples to feed himself and the other pigs. He also enlists the services of Squealer, another pig with the ability to persuade the other animals that the pigs are always moral and correct in their decisions. So later on that fall, Mr. Jones, the owner of the farm, the human, and his men return and attempt to retake their farm back. But thanks to the tactics of Snowball, the animals defeat Jones in what becomes known as the Battle of Cowshed. Now, winter arrives, and Molly, a vain horse concerned only with ribbons and sugar, is lured off the farm by another human. And Snowball begins drawing plans for a windmill, which will provide electricity and thereby give the animals more leisurely time. But Napoleon doesn't want to see such a thing created, on the grounds that if you build a windmill, it will allow them less time for producing food. So anyway, on the Sunday that the pigs offer the windmill to the animals for a vote, Napoleon summons a pack of ferocious dogs who chase Snowball off the farm forever. So here's the guys trying to make it better for all the animals, but Napoleon doesn't want it. And he chases the guy off the farm forever. Napoleon then announces that there will be no more debates on the farm. And he also tells them that the windmill will be built after all. And he lies and tells people that it was his own idea, but it was stolen by Snowball. Now, for the rest of this story, Napoleon uses Snowball as a scapegoat, and he blames all of the animals' hardships on Snowball. Now, most of the next year on this animal farm, They spend, right, the next year building the windmill. Now there's a horse by the name of Boxer, super strong horse, and he's the most valuable, right, in terms of being able to get this job done in the building of this windmill. Now Jones, the owner, initially the man, right, forsakes the farm and moves to another part of the country and just says to hell with it, right? But contrary to the principles of animalism, Napoleon hires a solicitor and begins trading with neighboring farms, with humans. Now, when a storm topples the half-finished windmill, Napoleon predictably blames Snowball and orders the animals to begin rebuilding it. So ultimately, Napoleon's lust for power increases to the point where he becomes a totalitarian dictator, forcing confessions from innocent animals and having the dogs kill them in front of the entire farm. He and the pigs move into Jones's house and begin sleeping in the beds, which is supposed to be against one of the 7 commandments. The animals receive less and less food while the pigs grow fatter. After this windmill is finally completed, Napoleon sells a pile of timber to Jones and another neighboring farmer who pays for it with forged banknotes. Now I know this is intricate, but I got to get to it. So Frederick and his men attack the farm and explode the windmill, but are eventually defeated. Eventually, more and more of the 7 commandments of animalism are broken by the pigs. And the language of the commandments is revised. For example, after the pigs get drunk one night, they change the commandments, or at least one of them, where no animal shall drink alcohol to excess. So again, Boxer, the strongest animal on the farm, offers his strength to help build a new windmill. But when he dies, exhausted, Napoleon sells, well, he didn't die, but he falls or collapses from exhaustion. Then he sells the horse to a glue boiler. In other words, fuck him. No honor for him. Let's make a profit off the man's carcass or the horse's carcass. So anyway, the squealer lies to the people on the farm or the animals on the farm and tells them that Boxer was actually taken to a veterinarian and he died a peaceful death in the hospital. And all the animals believe it. Anyway, years pass and the animal farm expands its boundaries after Napoleon purchases 2 fields from another neighboring farmer. And life for all the animals, except for the pigs, is harsh. Eventually, the pigs begin walking on their hind legs and take on many other qualities of their former human oppressors. The 7 commandments are reduced to a single law. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. The novel then ends with, a neighboring farmer named Pilkington sharing drinks with the pigs in Jones's house. Napoleon changes the name of the farm back to Manor Farm and quarrels with Pilkington during a card game in which both of them try to play the ace of spades as the other animals watch the scene from outside the window. They can't even distinguish the pigs from the humans. Now, what does that sound like to you? It sounds like a story in which there is a movement. This starts off relatively reasonable, but then it devolves over time. Over time, it devolves into a scenario in which groups of persons who are supposedly looking out for the liberty of everyone, really actually look out for their own interests. And they violate every one of their own principles to the neglect of everyone else. To the neglect of everyone else. And I'm saying here, it just seems to me, it seems a lot like what I'm seeing today in contemporary politics with black folks, man. I swear to God, man. I swear to God, it seems eerily similar to me to what's taking place in the context of the domain of black politics, where some groups can cozy up with certain groups of people and have as many extended conversations as they would like in any way they would like, but other people get excoriated. They get subjected to invectives, diatribes, tongue lashings for having an independent point of view. Huh. look, Adam said, black men are more equal, black women are more equal to white men than black men. Now, I don't know if I can say that. But it just seems like to me, some genders are more equal than others. All genders are equal, but some genders are more equal than others. Some people can do certain things, but other people can't do certain things. For example, some people can slap the shit out of people and still be good in relation to how people are viewed in the public sphere. Am I lying or am I not? Some people can say, I drug people and I rape people, and it was really hard for me. And then other people will get punished for that. That's just what it seems like to me. Some people can cut deals with other people and they can jump the line whenever they get good and ready. But if you have a communication with somebody from another party who might interrupt or intervene or somehow undercut their plans, then you get called out for being unfair. You are a racist, or you are a misogynist, or you just want to promote and to perpetrate the patriarchy. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, it just seems like to me, all genders are equal, but some genders are more equal than others. They can do whatever they want to do. Some people can basically marry white people and then not be perceived as sellouts. Some people can have an all-black family and still be called a sellout. Make it make sense. Because I'm trying to figure it out. I don't understand it. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. And oftentimes I'm left scratching my head profusely, trying to actually get a handle on it. And I can't. I just cannot. I can't understand it. I'm confused. I'm bamboozled. I'm run amok. I'm led astray. I don't get it. I thought what's good for the goose was good for the gander. But all genders are equal, but some genders are more equal than others. Some people can talk in a deprecating manner to other groups of persons and be called the proponents of justice, the advocators of liberty. But then, if others say something deprecating to another sex or a gender, then that person becomes misogynistic, a hater, a vile hater of specific persons with specific identities. Explain it, because I don't understand it. I'm trying to make sense of it all so that I can wrap my head around it. Some people can have a politics whereby they can take whatever is in their personal interest and make it be perceived to be the general interest. But other people have no capacity to look at what's in their own personal interest without being called racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, chauvinist, engaging in misogyny, whatever the case may be. Explain it, because I'm having a difficult time understanding it. I want to give a shout out to Alan Franklin, boy. Alan Franklin blessing me. You feel me? But I'm having a difficult time understanding it. I just don't get it. I want to understand it. I want to come to more awareness about it. I want to thank you, Alan Franklin. I got to give you some fanfare for this, my brother. I appreciate it. Thank you for your kind donation. I appreciate it. I really do. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to come to some awareness or understanding of how it is that some people can engage in some activities and they're all good. No problem. No, you go, girl. Then other people are the scum of the earth. Need to be locked away with the key thrown away. I mean, can you imagine how insulting it is to see, for example, a woman like Amber Heard, who admittedly on tape, on audio tape or audio recording, admittedly punched, slapped, and abused Johnny Depp, but then becomes an ambassador for fucking violence against women. Explain the shit, because I'm having a difficult motherfucking time understanding the shit. I'm having a difficult time understanding it. The same with Meg Thee Stallion. God, man, nobody ever wants to see anybody get shot, okay? But please, for crying out loud, this is another case of a similar kind with Amber Heard, a woman who's on camera, not even worrying about being a fucking domestic violence abuser as much as she's worried about her mugshot. Explain it, because I'm having a difficult time understanding it. I just don't get it. I'm not going to talk too much longer, man. If anybody has a comment to make and they want to say something, because one of the things that accountability requires, especially for people who are going to take up the mantle of leadership, is accountability. Accountability is a must, is a necessity. It's a must. But one of the things, look, if you're going to have accountability, you have to have consistency. You have to have reciprocity. You have to have consistency in act and speech. You can't say one thing and then do some other shit. You can't do that. But I guess if everybody's equal, but some people are more equal than others, then I guess you can. I guess you can operate by double standards. I guess you can slap people around and then be a victim. I guess it's possible. I just don't understand it myself. I don't think I'll ever get it. I don't think I'll ever be cool with it. I don't think I'll ever in my lifetime be able to reconcile my understanding about fairness and justice and to think it's okay for a group of people to do the very things that they condemn and still be held up as an exemplar of virtue. I don't understand it. Somebody please help me. Good Lord Jesus Christ, somebody would you help me? Help me understand it. I'm going to take a quick break for a minute, man, and I'm going to come on right back. We are back. I'm the G with a PhD. You're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel, the place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chaser. I want to give a shout out to Sherrod Martin, and I wanted to give him a shout out yesterday, but I couldn't see the fact that he had actually provided a contribution because he had made one so early. He had made one hours before the show had even begun. So I want to honor you right now, my brother. I appreciate your donation. Thank you, sir. Again, not only did you donate, but you donated hours before the show had even begun. So I want to give you a shout out for that. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your contribution and your dedication for making the donation. So let me just say this, man. We need consistency in acting speech. We're human beings just like everybody else is, man. Right now, it's gotten to a point where people can do things to us, and the very things that they decry or the very things that they do, and if they're done to them, it becomes morally impermissible, unjust, unfair, misogynistic. When it's done to us, what is it, liberty? Is it get back? What is this? I need somebody to help me with it because I'm having a difficult time understanding it. I'm confused. I need to be able to wrap my head around it. Please, somebody, please help me. I'm inviting anyone. Please explain to me how you can treat people in unjust ways but still be perceived as exemplars of justice. Explain it. I'm having a difficult time understanding the shit. Explain it. How can a group of women start an organization predicated upon black male death, take the movement, and use it to promote trans women's issues, queer black folk people's issues, and black women's issues, and tell black men, sit your ass down, you jump in the line. Explain it to me, because I don't have the capacity to understand it. I need somebody to help me with it. Please. Please help me understand. Please help me understand it. You know what? You can't. You can't help me understand it. Because it's wrong. I'm going to tell you something, and then I'm going to get out of here. I'm not going to make this show very long. And I know I went off into a rant for a little while. But let me just be sober-minded about this and tell you what I think from a moral point of view. Look, none of us asked to be born into this world. We're here. None of us asked to be born either male or female, or whatever else it is we are in relation to our sex. I didn't ask to be born with a penis. I just was. Nobody asked to be born with a uterus. They just are. It's arbitrary from a moral point of view whether or not you are born with a uterus or testicles. You don't get to claim that you are fundamentally, essentially better than someone else on that account. But we seem to have baked into this culture at the current moment this idea that women are actually morally better. They are superior to us. This is supposed to be the exact opposite of the aims of feminism from its outset. It was all about equality, right? It's about parity. It's about inclusiveness. But how can you promote the norms of inclusivity, but at the same time, decenter others? What is this, some sort of gender affirmative action? What the fuck is it? And I can see if it were applied to white guys, but this shit is being applied to black men who are now walking around saying over and over again, letting the world know we're the most oppressed group in the entirety of the world. So unless we're free, nobody else will be free. Black men are not walking around saying that shit. But there are some people who are walking around saying this. And while they're saying that very same thing, they're being very arrogant, condescending, dismissive to us, black men. That shit is about to stop. It's over for that. It's over. Done. And I'm going to tell you why it's done. Because we're going to play the game the way you're playing it. You know what you said? I'm going to tell you what women said. And this will be the title of my next lecture, my next show. I want to share the screen. I'm going to go to the Chrome tab. The personal is political. Written in 1969. If the personal is political for you, God damn it, the personal is political for us. And you don't want to see us get personal with politics. I can guarantee you that shit. But you know what? You're about to see it. And I'm like Rambo on this one. You drew first blood. You drew first blood. You drew first blood. So it's already 45 minutes in. I'm not going to continue to go through this anymore. It's a Friday night. I said I'm not going to be too long with this. But you get the picture. I'm going to tell you what these people think. To them, what's personal is political. They feel like they're oppressed in their daily lives. And this is white women who come up with this shit. The same women who were colonialists, slave owners, lynchers, segregationists, rapists, and abusers themselves, the same women all of a sudden created a class. in which they become oppressed. And then black women take this shit up as if it's the fucking gospel. After having, alongside of black men going through slavery, Jim Crow, ghettoization, and then after that come the mass incarceration. Then we become the white people of black people. Well, it's time for us to get fucking personally political. So, thank y'all for joining me tonight. I'm not going to stay too long, man. I'm out of this motherfucker, man. Y'all have a good Friday. I'll holler at y'all later, man. Peace.
I know you player haters gon' hate, cause I'm at the finish line and I'm in the first place. I'm a winner, and I know I'll never lose, cause I'm way too ahead of you, dude. I know you player haters gon' hate, cause I'm at the finish line and I'm in the first place. I'm a winner, and I know I'll never lose, cause I'm way too ahead of you, dude. I'm turning. Okay, here I go. Guaranteed to be the leader of the race, come in first place. Put the pedal to the metal, let it burn, then I blow up in your face for the boom of the big bass. Turn around, nigga, buck face. Nigga, turn up the track, nigga, hurt with a burnt face. Fuck a nigga, cause he gon' hate. Put some pimpin' in his cup, set him out for the date rate. I go, I blaze, throw grenades in the party till I'm clearing out the whole place. Who got that rock money loan? You can hear it in my tone, better home, you don't know me. Better run, nigga, bustle like a gun. Ain't a motherfucker nigga that can hold me. I'm tired of niggas suckin', find your bitch so she can blow me. Ain't nobody never cheat like the young boy, many bomb boys, and he hit like a donkey. And he roll with a convoy with them hot toys. If you really wanna get it jumpin'. I blow that monkey, that hairy back green gorilla. Take it through the nose, put it on my mind, I'm a beast like Michael Jackson Thriller. Your boys are trippin', I ain't hearing till you're speaking something. Don't do too much because your pussies always do it for me. Yeah, get it good, get it like I should. All the hating motherfuckers better keep it coming. Put them all in a barn, throw a bomb, and that motherfucker leave they body slumping. I know you player haters gon' hate, cause I'm at the finish line and I'm in the first place. I'm a winner, and I know I'm never